morning, and thank you for coming to Story Hour with Book and Puppet Company. Today I had to get dressed up fancy because we're going to be going dancing. We're going to go stomping at the Savoy with Bebe Moore Campbell and Richard Yarde. And here you can see somebody is really out dancing. And who is this? This is a cat. And this cat is dancing and has very fancy dancing shoes and very fancy dancing coat. And this girl is dancing and she has extremely good socks. And then people are dancing on the back too. Did you like to go dancing? Let's see what happens. Stompin' at the Savoy. I'm just going to take this jacket off. Hey, I know who she is. She's that girl with those amazing socks. She's going stomping at the Savoy. Stomping at the Savoy. Hey, look, it's even signed by Richard Yarde. As Mindy stared at her dinner, a big fat tear plopped right onto her collard greens. Her jazz dance recital would begin in less than 4 hours, and she was scared. Why do you think she's scared of her jazz dance recital? Maybe she's nervous. It can be nerve-wracking when you're going to have a recital. That means you have to do a performance that's like the end of your class and everyone is going to come. Her 3 great aunties, Auntie Willa May, Auntie Naomi, and Auntie Norma, were having a good time dancing, which is what they always did after dinner. Old-timey music blared from the CD player while the aunties practiced their steps. Dancing at home with them was okay. Dancing by herself was okay. But I don't want to dance for strangers, Mindy said in her whiny voice. I might fall. Mercy, said Auntie Willa May and Auntie Norma, who held their ears. Stop whining, said Auntie Naomi. It makes me climb the walls. All you have to do is make your happy feet, little bit. Whatever happens, just keep dancing. Mindy shook her head. If you make me dance in the recital, she shouted, I'll run away. Do you think that it's going to be okay if she dances and strangers come that she doesn't even know to see her dance? Do you think that she would fall down? She rushed into her room, slammed the door, and flung herself across her bed. Tap, tap. Mindy peeked out her window. 2 drumsticks were beating a drum, and no one was around. I'm pat-a-pat-a-boom, boom-da-boom-boom, the drum said. I'm taking you to the home of Happy Feet. A talking drum! Somebody's trying to mess with my mind, Mindy said. Did you ever see it? A drum that can just talk by itself. The drum started rolling with the sticks beating it. Pat-a-pat-a-boom, boom-da-boom-boom. The next thing Mindy knew, she was snapping her fingers and following it down the fire escape, way beneath the sidewalk. Beneath the sidewalk to a place she'd never seen before. Where's this patta patta boom boom da boom boom taking her? She's following it down the stairs underneath the sidewalk. There was a tall door with a sign in electric lights. The Savoy Ballroom. At the front of the door was a black cat. "Welcome," said the cat. "Would you like to meet a cat who says, 'Welcome'?" And there she is. More people are coming too. Who are these people that are coming? It's way beneath the sidewalk and it says, "Savoy, home of the Happy Feet Lindy Hop Contest." What? She's going to this place where they're having a dance contest. And she met this cat. "Wow," Mindy said, stepping inside. The room was as huge as a playground. Can you imagine a room that big? And the soft light above glowed like a new moon. On the long stage, a band was playing loud, joyful music. "A tisket, a tasket," sang a woman with a jazzy voice that made her feet move. Dancers of all sizes and shapes were shaking and stomping, swinging and strutting. Shaking and stomping, swinging and strutting. But why were they wearing such out-of-style clothes and hairstyles? Mindy stared for a moment. "Somebody's trying to mess with my mind," she said. "Where are we, Patta Patta?" she asked. Where are they? You know, it already said they're at the Savoy. Let's find out. How did she get there? This is like a long time ago. Somebody's messing with her mind or something. But as she looked, the drum rolled onto the stage. There's that drum. Remember the drum? Patta patta. Listening to the music, Mindy felt as though someone had poured the rhythm inside her. Her head began bobbing. She began to snap her fingers as smiling dancers whirled and twirled around her, sliding her feet back and forth. As the music grew louder and faster, Mindy swayed and clapped and clapped. Then she stopped. Suppose people were watching her. Do you like it when people watch you do something? She doesn't usually like that. Suppose people were watching her. Suddenly there was a blare of trumpets, a ripple of loud piano chord, and a crash of cymbals. The crowd began to cheer when two men appeared on the stage. Look at these trumpets they were playing, and all these saxophones were playing. There's a clarinet is playing too. There's that drummer with bells. I see the singer. Who are the two men who appeared? Welcome all you hepcats and satin dolls. My name is Chick Webb, said the first, waving drumsticks in the air. And I'm Benny Goodman, said the second man, clutching a clarinet. Let's quit jiving and get this battle started. He put the instrument to his lips and blew. Tweedledee, tweedledee, deedledee, da 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 deedledee. Are they really going to fight? Mindy asked a woman standing next to her. The lady laughed. Whoever has the best music wins. She looked closely at Mindy. There are no children allowed in the Savoy. And here comes the bouncer. Oh, there's no children allowed. Did that ever happen to you? Oh my gosh. There's no children allowed, and I see that both Dahlia and Tommy have come. I'm sorry about this. You know what? This is really bad news. I'm really sorry to hear about this. There's no children allowed. Tommy, there's no children allowed. Dahlia, there's no children allowed. We were at the Savoy. We were stomping at the Savoy, and Mindy already went. She followed a magic drum to the Savoy ballroom, and already there's going to be this battle of the bands with Benny Goodman versus Chick Webb, but there's only one problem, which is that there's no children allowed in the Savoy ballroom.
Well, it is.
I know, but you and Tommy came, and Mindy came, but there's no children allowed. See, it's only for grown-ups. And here comes the bouncer. The bouncer is the one that is like kicks people out if they're not allowed. Very sorry about this. I'm going to have to do a little bit of muting here because of... A huge man with fingers as big as sausages stood in front of her. Mindy danced right into the crowd. Woo! She's hiding out. Oh. The bouncer was right behind her. She trotted among the legs and feet of the dancers and was soon bumped to the middle of the floor. The room seemed to be spinning around and around with dancing feet everywhere. Mindy couldn't stop dancing herself. She was gliding, and it felt as if her body was a drum beat. This really is the home of happy feet. People stopped to watch her. When she saw all the eyes on her, Mindy felt too shy to continue. Slip me some skin, little lady, a voice said. Chick Webb stood in front of her with his hand extended. Mindy slapped his hand with hers. Crazy, come on up. I want you to be in the dance competition. The winner's prize is $10. Whoa. She's usually kind of shy. I wonder if she's going to be too shy to be in the dance competition. Because here's Chick Webb pulling her onto the stage. Uh-oh. Mindy whispered her name, and the next thing she knew, she was standing with about a dozen other people. They were practicing their steps as they waited their turn. Where was that bouncer now? Billy and Willa May, the announcer shouted as Chick began drumming. An energetic young couple took to the floor. Mindy had never seen their dance before, Someone behind her called it the Peabody. It looked like walking set to rhythm. And there they go. It looked like walking set to rhythm. It looked like walking set to rhythm. They're doing the Peabody. That's one kind of dance. Norma and George. A man and a woman who looked like teenagers held each other closely and danced. Oh, they danced slowly. Suddenly, they backed away from each other and started wiggling and shaking, as though they had ice cubes slipping down their backs. Woo! They clapped their hands as they twisted and did the shimmy. Then George pulled Norma close again, and they ended the dance in slow motion. No name for their dance. Hey, I think they made that dance up themselves. Frankie and Naomi. The Lindy Hop, someone whispered. Frankie and Naomi slid on their knees about 10 feet to the stage, then jumped up and faced each other and began kicking their legs back and forth from side to side as Benny Goodman played Tweedledee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Frankie put his arms around Naomi and spun her around so her back was to him. Then he jumped over her head. What amazing dancing! But as he was coming down, he lost his balance and toppled over. Oh, Mindy groaned, but Frankie bounced up, grinned at the audience, and winked at Mindy. Do you think that he actually planned that as part of the dance? This is a really good and difficult dance. Some of these dances are really fancy dances.
Mr. Andy.
Yes.
Why you just pretend?
Why am I just pretending to dance? Because I'm not as good as the dancers in this book. But you know something? These pictures were made by the artist Richard Yarde, and they were part of a huge installation at a fancy art gallery. And they made this picture book based on those huge cutouts that Richard Yarde made of these dancers. What's that?
Tommy's on mute, so that's why I put my mute.
Tommy was on mute because there was some background noise there. Let me see if it's still there.
That's just because of meeting.
There's a meeting going on, yeah, so that's why I had him on mute. Mindy! Oh, now it's time for Mindy. You think that she's going to be too shy to dance? Remember, she was too shy before. Mindy! Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. That's the name of the drum, the magic drum that took her to this magic underground dance place, the Savoy. Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. Mindy took a deep, deep breath and stepped onto the floor. Whatever happens, I'll just keep dancing. She arched her back and threw up her arms. Ladies and gentlemen, my jazz recital dance. She looks like she's going to be brave enough to just try to do it. Here she goes. People formed a big circle around her and clapped. Mindy was sure moving her happy feet. She's doing it. She's doing her jazz recital dance. She was about to leap into the air when she saw the bouncer. Uh-oh, there's no kids allowed, remember, in the Savoy. Here comes the bouncer! No children at the Savoy. Your time's up, he said, grabbing her wrist. Oh, I hate it when people do that. Why don't you let the kid finish her dance? Frankie said to the bouncer. No children, the bouncer said, his voice a snarl. The other dancers began chanting, let her dance, let her dance, let her dance, let her dance, let her dance. But the bouncer refused to let her go. How would she ever get back to her aunties? Mindy wished that she'd been sweet and pleasant to them before she left instead of whining. Oh no, she's going to be stuck in this underground dance hall forever. You think? She looked at the bouncer. Please, she said in her whiniest voice. Pretty, pretty, please. Don't start whining, said the bouncer with a look of horror. Please. You want to say please in a whiny voice? Please. Please, please, please let me go, Mindy whined. Frankie and Naomi put their fingers in their ears, as did the people closest to her. Hey, cut that out right now, the bouncer said, dropping her arm. Please, she cried. Mindy's screechy baby voice was louder than Chick Webb's drums, higher than Benny Goodman's clarinet, so high that the people near her stopped dancing and covered their ears. The bouncer backed away until he hit a wall. He turned and began to climb it. Up, up, up. She must have a really whiny voice. Horns blared from the bandstands. Frankie and Naomi grabbed Mindy, and the three of them began Lindy hopping. Hopping across the floor. Just then, the bouncer jumped down from the wall and raced toward her. Frankie swung around, then grabbed Naomi's and Mindy's hands. He leaped and then flung his partners high into the air. Check out what happened. Frankie was doing Lindy hopping. He swung Mindy into the air. Would you like to dance that way? Where somebody swings you like that?
Oh no!
It would be extremely scary and exciting. It looks like Mindy is smiling, though. This is a crazy, crazy dance where your partner would swing you way up into the air. And here's the cat who was at the front door. Everybody is really amazed. And there goes Mindy. She's dancing the Lindy Hop with Frankie. He leaped and then flung his partners high into the air. Mindy was so light that she sailed through a hole in the ceiling and past the black cat, who waved goodbye, just as an announcer said, and the winners of the Battle of the Bands and the dance contest are... She's going through a hole in the ceiling. And the winners of the Battle of the Bands and the dance contest are... Mindy landed with a thud on top of her own bed. It doesn't matter who won. When she looked up, her aunties were standing over her. The house was filled with old-timey music. Mindy, it's time for your recital, Auntie Willa May said, handing her the costume as she moved her head to the beat. I'm ready, Mindy said, and I'm not afraid. Good girl, said Auntie Norma, hunching her shoulders up and down. Here's an ending for you, little bit, said Auntie Naomi. Watch! Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. Pada pada boom boom da boom boom. The aunties slid across the floor and did 3 perfect splits. Wow, her aunties are really good dancers. Mindy gave them a long, hard look. Could it be? Somebody is definitely trying to mess with my mind. I wonder if the aunties were at the Savoy in that underground place. Do you think that Mindy would be able to do a splits at the end of her jazz dance recital? I don't know. Will she go? I think she's going to go. I think she's not going to be scared this time. Because her aunties are brave and good dancers, and she's probably a really good dancer. And it doesn't matter who won. And that is the end of the story. I think that she did it. I think she went. And then it says, Savoy Historical Note. Opened in Harlem, New York in 1926. The Savoy Ballroom was home to the greatest dancers.
Can you do another book?
This is it. This is the Stompin' at the Savoy book that we did today. With Bebe Moore Campbell and Richard Yarde. Did you have time for another book? But I thought that you had to go to the bus now.
We did the bus. We have to go to the bus.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Dahlia. Thank you, Tommy. I'm glad that you could...
You have time to read one more story to me?
You're not going to the bus, Tommy?
I'm not...
No school today.
No school today.
What?
School's closed today.
School's closed today. I'm in kindergarten. I'm not a first grader or something. I'm not in any of the grades.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, his school closed all day today. Where's the camera? There it is.
Oh, okay. So...
His school's closed all week. So.
Oh, but Dahlia, what school do you go to?
First grade.
Oh, first grade. That explains it.
I think Sunken Valley Elementary School. Sunken Valley? Bus.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, we can read Tar Beach also. Okay, you want to read Tar Beach?
Yeah, and if there's any bows in it, I'll just grab my bow.
Okay, I don't think there's any bows in Tar Beach. It's about some people who are having a good time on top of their building. They're like on the roof.
Here.
Did you ever go on the roof, Tommy?
Have you been
No,
on?
I haven't been that near the roof.
Tommy. You
I
check
would
your
get
map.
very hurt.
I told you to.
Is it too high on the roof?
No, this place definitely.
Is it a slanty roof or a flat roof where you are?
Our roof is slanty, right, Tom? There's no way out to get there. You have to do a big ladder.
Well, there are some places that people live where the roof is not slanty. Instead, the roof is flat.
Here.
And there's stairs that you can go up, and then you go out a door, and you're standing on the roof, and there's tar on the roof, and here's the family with their friends having a picnic on the roof, and here is Cassie and her brother, and they are lying on a blanket on the roof, and she calls it her tar beach. Because it's just like going to the beach, except they're on the roof of their building in the big city. And here behind them is the George Washington Bridge.
George Washington. I heard that from my teachers.
And this bridge is named after George Washington. They made a big bridge, and they named it after the regular George Washington. So, and this book is called Tar Beach, and here is that roof of this building where she likes to lie with her brother. And here's a picture of her, and what is she doing now? Is she lying on the beach? On Tar Beach?
Did you see that bow?
She's flying! I don't think she has a bow. Do you have a bow?
I have a bow. It's made out of paper. It's an origami bow.
Well, your origami bow and your origami arrow can fly, because your arrow flies, and Cassie is flying. She's flying just like your arrow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I know! When things can fly through the air, that is very cool. So this book is called...
Like there's the arrows in her hair.
I don't know. This could be arrows in her hair. And down here you can see quilt squares. Because this book...
I heard of a quilt before. I saw a quilt in kindergarten.
This quilt, here's a picture of it. This quilt is by Faith Ringgold. Here's a picture of Faith Ringgold. She made this amazing quilt that has patches around the outside of it. And in the middle, here's this picture. And you can see this picture of Cassie and her family on the Tar Beach.
A little bit about my bow.
What's going on with your bow?
I can tell you a little bit.
Okay, we're going to read Tar Beach now. Here it goes. We're reading an extra book today. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Okay. I will always remember when the stars fell down around me and lifted me up above the George Washington Bridge. There she is flying. See, she's flying. Tommy, I love that music. I could see our tiny rooftop with Mommy and Daddy and Mr. and Mrs. Honey, our next door neighbors, still playing cards as if nothing was going on. And Bebe, my baby brother, lying real still on the mattress, just like I told him to, his eyes like huge floodlights tracking me through the sky. You want to make the sound of her flying? Are you making the sound of her flying?
I'm just catching up cups and see if the boat can like shoot over these cups.
Okay, you shoot the bow over the cups while Cassie flies in the air. Sleeping on Tar Beach was magical. Lying on the roof in the night with stars and skyscraper buildings all around me made me feel rich. Like I owned all that I could see. The bridge was my most prized possession. Daddy said that George Washington Bridge is the longest and most beautiful bridge in the world, and that it opened in 1931 on the very day that I was born. Daddy worked on that bridge hoisting cables. Since then, I've wanted that bridge to be mine. Now I have claimed it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. Let's fly over the bridge. That's all you have to do to get something is just fly over it. You can claim it. I can wear it like a giant diamond necklace. Or just fly above it and marvel at its sparkling beauty. I can fly. Yes, fly. Me, Cassie Louise Lightfoot, only 8 years old and in the 3rd grade, and I can fly. That means I am free to go wherever I want for the rest of my life. Daddy took me to see the new Union building he is working on. I'm just going to mute that. He can walk on steel girders high up in the sky and not fall. They call him the cat. Look, he's way up there walking on steel girders and he does not fall. He's extremely well balanced and brave. But still he can't join the Union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Well, Daddy is going to own that building because I'm going to fly over it and give it to him. Then it won't matter that he's not in their old Union or whether he's colored or a half-breed Indian, like they say. See, she's claiming this Union building by flying over it. You want to fly over it? He'll be rich and won't have to stand on a 24-story high girders and look down. He can look up at his building going up, and Mommy won't cry all winter when he goes to look for work and doesn't come home. See, that's what her daddy's going to be. He's going to own that building because she flew over it. And Mommy can laugh and sleep late like Mrs. Honey, and we can have ice cream every night for dessert. See, Mommy's going to have this really nice quilt, too. Next, I'm going to fly over the ice cream factory. Just to make sure we do. See, that's, if they own the ice cream factory, or rather, when they own the ice cream factory, they can have ice cream every night. So there she is flying over the factory. It's very good to know how to fly like Cassie does. Tonight, we're going up to Tar Beach. Mommy is roasting peanuts and frying chicken, and Daddy will bring home a watermelon. Mr. and Mrs. Honey will bring the beer and their old green card table, and then the stars will fall around me, and I will fly to the Union building. I'll take Bebe with me. He has threatened to tell Mommy and Daddy if I leave him behind. Oh, look, she's taking her brother. That's nice. I have told him that it's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars. And there's that quilt, the Tar Beach quilt. There's Cassie Louise Lightfoot, and there's her brother Bebe. And here's Faith Ringgold, who made that quilt. And that is the whole story. Just fly when you need to. And that is going to be the end of the story hour for today. So we read 2 books. We read Stompin' at the Savoy by Bebe Moore Campbell with pictures by Richard Yarde. And we read Tar Beach by Faith Ringgold. And thank you so much for coming for Story Hour. See you next time. Bye.